Hi, this is Dakarazu. We have here a data sufficiency question dealing with coordinate geometry. Okay, let's read the question. In the XY plane, line M and line K intersect at the point 8 third and 7 third. What is the slope of line M? So you're told here to consider the XY plane. Now, the points that they give us here is important. But what is more important is that in order to find the slope, we need to have another point. There are many ways to find the slope of a line. For example, if you have the equation of the line, we can determine the slope of the line. If you have the graph of the line, we can find the slope. But also, if you have 2 points of the line, obviously you know the formula that you need to calculate in order to find the slope of a line when given 2 points. Okay? I assume that you know that. So here, the important thing is to see if you can find another point for line M, because we are given here, we are being asked to find the slope of line M. Okay? The two lines intersect at this point, so we have that. Let's go to number 1. Number 1, we are told that line N passes through the origin. So it means that the point 0, 0, which is the origin, goes through line N. So really, if you want, if I combine this with the above statement, the question itself, what we are given in the question, I can say that we have the point 0, 0 and the point 8 third and 7 third. Both of them belong, if you want, to line N. Not M, but N. Okay? So this should allow us to find the slope of line N. As you know, in order to find the slope, we have to do maybe 7 third minus 0 over 8 third minus 0. But since we are dealing with a data sufficiency question, we don't need to find the actual value. We have a problem still here to find the slope of line M, because even though we know the slope of line N, we have no relationship between line N and line M, because we're not told, for example, that they are parallel. We're not told that they are perpendicular, which is important. The intersection, the fact that they intersect, is vague. You can't intersect a point in many different ways, in many different directions. So really, telling us that they intersect at this point doesn't tell us a whole lot, except that this point, 8 third, 7 third, obviously passes, belong to line N and to line M at the same time. So we lack a strong bond, a strong relationship between line N and line M. And I hope you'll agree with that, okay? We need more than just having the intersection. Number 2, we are told that the product of the slopes of line M and line N is -1. Let's call the slope of line M, let's call it M1, and the slope of line N, we can call it M2. Okay? So this is for line M rather. Let me erase this. And this is for line N. Okay, so we are told that m1 times m2 equal -1. What does it mean? Obviously it means that m1, if you want, is a -1 over m2, but this also means geometrically that the two lines are perpendicular. They form a right angle, essentially something like this. This could be line N, and this could be line M. Okay, they are perpendicular. That's what it means when the two slopes, the product of the two slopes is equal to -1. But remember, we don't have the information in one. We need to do here two separately. Okay, the only problem here that we is still gonna have a tough time finding the slope of line M. Even though we have this relationship between the two slopes, I don't know, we don't know the actual value of the slope of line N. We had it in number 1, but number 2, we have no information about the actual value of the slope. So really we have a single relationship here that will not help us, because I have no way of finding line M directly. I have no way of finding the slope of line M indirectly. However, if we put number 1 and number 2 together, so here I will just put not sufficient, and here also I would put not sufficient. Okay, NS means not sufficient. Together we have two things going on here. First, we know that we can find the value of the slope of line N. It's a certain number. We can go and actually calculate that. Number 2, we know that M1, which is the slope of line M, is equal to -1 over M2. Okay? Realize that M2 can be found again from number 1. Number 1, because we have 2 points, we can find M2. So M2, if you want known, is known from number 1. And obviously, if you know M2, you can see easily that we can find M1. M1 would be -1 divided by the value of M2. So it looks like together, effectively, we can find the slope of line M. And so we can say that it's enough, we have enough information to solve the question. So the correct answer, because we're in data sufficiency, is C. Okay, I hope you were able to follow me here. What was important here is that it's not enough to find the slope of one of the lines, like line N. We need more information. And the information we needed is either we must be told that the two lines are perpendicular. On top of that, that's what we had in number 2, or we could have been told also that the two lines are parallel. If they were parallel, that would have been enough to solve the question. I'm talking about when you put the two statements together, it would have been enough as well. Okay, so thank you for watching. This is Takarazu.